3, 1.
Major Domo, Chief of the Robots, and Reject, the factory rejected robot.
The following is rated TV MALSV. It contains strong language, violence, and nudity. It is intended only for mature audiences. Viewer discretion advised.
Why your girl bum? I don't wanna pop my goddamn trunk. I don't wanna smoke myself with a skunk. I don't wanna push myself out of love. Got good brain, but I'm dumb. Think I got a diamond ring, I'll put it on my thumb. Think I gotta ask your girl where she from. Think I gotta pipe your thought, then I run. Yeah, baby. Okay, alright. Yep. Diamonds blinded on sight. Okay, last night. Your mommy wanted.
Oh, no, I was watching TikToks. Hello.
Damn,
Good
I need to be
evening.
talking into the mic. I just realized I hadn't been talking into the
Good
mic
morning. Welcome back to another SUPERWHITE podcast episode. I am Case, and this is Dallin, and I probably should have saved this for the intro.
No, this feels like a real show now. Usually when we sit down and do these, we don't like give the big old intro and everything, but
Right.
I've been listening to some podcasts recently, and I realized that that's one big thing is they have like the introductory part at the beginning where like, hi, I'm so-and-so, and welcome to this podcast, and all that shit. And I'm like, oh, we don't have that. So that sounded really professional.
So, yes. Case and Dallin, SUPERWHITE. We got a TikTok comment a few weeks back. It was like, that's a weird name. And, I mean...
Wait, really?
Yeah. But, I mean, it's just two white dudes, so we named it SUPERWHITE.
That was your idea, but I ran with it. It was dope.
Yeah, because we had an old name, but
Super white.
got into some beef. And they
Don't
said,
look it up.
this is what we're stuck with.
I mean, I'm not stuck with it. I think it's dope.
We'll change it into a weed reviewing podcast and call it Super Weed. Hey, what's up,
That'd
guys?
be
Welcome
funny.
back to Super Weed. On today's episode, we're going to be smoking with Jeff Bezos.
Ew, what the fuck? No, if I'm smoking with anyone, it's going to be like Snoop Dogg.
Takes a hit, and you're like, where's the money, Jeff? Why aren't you treating your workers? Why aren't you treating your workers right?
I saw this thing. It was a podcast I was actually listening to last night
Yeah.
where they were talking about like ayahuasca in Peru. And one of the guys, like one of the tourists from the store that they were telling about was in Peru trying to sell or like start like a business that houses tourists to do ayahuasca.
Okay.
And the deal fell through, but then for some reason the guy was marching around town with a cardboard like cutout sign that said whoever the business guy was owes me $4,000 for the failed business.
Mm-hmm.
And I had this idea that like, what if I go do that in front of the White House, except I say Joe Biden owes me $2,000.
Yeah, we'll just get a whole bunch of us and just go.
Yeah.
Joe Biden deserves.
Joe Biden owes me. Oh, Joe Biden, isn't that the guy who owes me $2,000?
Oh my God, oldest president to owe me $2,000. Pretty funny.
One of the dogs in the meeting was like, lower it, Joe. 2,000's too much. Lower it.
They don't need any more money. Actually, let's give them no money.
I saw another video about that today. That's like, they found out maybe a possible reason why Mitch McConnell would think that 1,400 is too much, and so they did like a currency inflation test from the time the Senator McConnell was 18. And $1,400 would have been like $17,000, and so that's why he thinks 1,400 is so much.
Oh, I mean, that makes sense. He's like, 1,400 for these broke motherfuckers? Hell no.
God, I hate him, dude. He looks like a
Give him
Yertle the fucking turtle.
If we give him 1,400 checks, then they're never going to work again. They're going to quit their jobs.
Excuse me, Senator Yertle the turtle McConnell. Can I get your attention, please?
I mean, it's so crazy that we've only gotten 3 stimuluses in like a year. And
Yeah, I actually did see another video talking about that and how like our stimuluses weren't competitive with other countries. But if you factor in the amount of unemployment benefits that people got, especially right after that, it actually is about equal with other countries' stimuluses. So it might not have been issued out the same, but
don't they get stimuluses on top of what unemployment they already have over there?
No. Well, they might.
Because I feel
I
like
don't
they
think they do.
would. I think either way, I mean, they just didn't give us enough stimulus.
I agree.
Because not everybody lost their job, but still like was in a position where they needed that money. So that's where unemployment benefits wouldn't even mattered.
But I remember that when like some of our friends that actually did lose their jobs went on unemployment, they were making so fucking much off unemployment money.
Yeah, that's true.
Which is, I heard a rumor, it was more of a joke, that's explaining why the government stopped doing the unemployment like in October.
Why?
And it was because when all these people got laid off from their jobs, they saw that they made so much more on unemployment than they ever did at their underpaid jobs. And so they took them away from people.
That makes sense, kind of. That's pretty ridiculous, but I don't know. So is this country, so.
You know what else is ridiculous? Conspiracy theories.
Yeah?
Yeah, bro. I was listening to another murder mystery podcast about this cult leader who was like kind of like the QAnon type shit. So like she believed in aliens and she believed that they were on Earth cloning people. And she believed in like the FEMA camps and like the New World Order and shit. Have you heard that? How like aliens and like reptile people are like cloning humans and invading and taking over the world?
Nope, I've never heard that.
Well, she believes in it. She'll like get mad at somebody in the cult and then just say that, oh, they must have been cloned by the New World Order. And then all of her little disciples will go after them. Yeah, so it's led to like 2 suicides and a murder. It's crazy.
That's fucking ridiculous. What the shit?
I told you it was ridiculous.
That doesn't make like any sense.
But just conspiracy theories are fucking, they're whack, dude.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like 9/11.
Yeah.
I have never thought that was real. Even as a kid.
Really?
Even as a kid, you would see like the clips of 9/11 that they play in school and like on the news or whatever. And it always just did not look real. Like the whole thing looked staged. Saudi Arabia and like the terrorists were warning people. Like this inside information about when 9/11 was going to happen, like got around, and a whole bunch of foreign countries like the UK and France and Germany all tried to warn the United States, and we just didn't listen and kind of just let it happen.
Really?
Yeah.
But like, what were the warnings?
Like you will have a terrorist attack in New York on this date. Be careful.
Really?
And they just didn't do anything about it.
Because it was like, because they needed to let it happen?
Well, yeah, because that's how we got into the Middle East for oil.
Does that also have like another effect on like the fact that if they stage a terrorist attack, they can make that the excuse for why they have to take away everyone's privacy?
I've heard that too.
Yeah. Huh.
That also sounds like it makes sense.
Interesting. I guess I never really thought about it that way. I just usually thought it was like one of those things that you don't talk about too much because people get upset for some reason.
I don't care, bro.
But
I am sorry for the people who lost their lives, but I'm not making fun of that.
yeah.
It's just crazy that people think that it wasn't an inside job.
Yeah. Huh.
Like, that's a huge thing. You'd think that somebody would know about it.
Right.
Like, you'd think the secret would have gotten out somewhere. Some kind of whistleblower would, like, let people know.
Pretty odd. But I mean, even if they did, then they wouldn't have done anything.
That's exactly what happened. They did know, and they didn't do anything about it.
Right.
So you got to think that it was either them letting it happen or them somehow conducting it so that they could get, like, the door open for the Middle East so that they could invade and get oil, make money.
That's pretty interesting.
Yeah.
That'd be pretty fucking crazy if something like that had happened and they ever, like, found out that it had happened. Be insane.
That'd be crazy. Do you have any conspiracy theories?
I have a list.
No way.
I have an
Man,
article.
it's almost like we planned that. That's
I have an
cool.
article with just a whole bunch of them.
Just opened up on your phone, just
Yeah.
coincidentally.
There's 12 of them.
Damn.
All right, number 1. How do you say Melania Trump?
Melania.
Melania Trump has a doppelganger who follows the president around on official business.
Bro, I've heard that. Like, all the different types of, like, breakdowns, they're like, these two women don't have the same jawline or cheekbone line or whatever.
In October, several people took to Twitter to question the real identity of the woman trailing behind the president during a White House press chat. Twitter users compared side-by-side photos of the real Melania and the Melania double, came to an official assessment. There's a slightly shorter First Lady look-alike. Okay. Number 2. J.K. Rowling doesn't exist.
What? Is it just because she's a transphobe and people are trying to cancel her and it's just like a joke?
I don't think so, but this is what it... In 2005, Norwegian filmmaker Nina Grunfeld argued that the Harry Potter series has been created by an entire industry of writers, and the woman known as J.K. Rowling was only a front. It is possible that a person can write 6 thick books that are... Is it possible that a person can write 6 thick books that are translated into 55 languages and sell more than 250 million copies in less than 10 years? That's so weird. So, like...
But what is her proof that she's not a real thing?
Like,
she's not real.
Well, the person itself is probably real, but they just used her as a front and she didn't really do anything. Like, she's like a dummy.
You know what? Just because I hate J.K. Rowling so much, I'm just going to think that. I'm going to be reading Harry Potter again and be like, J.K. Rowling didn't even write this. I'm fine.
Instead of one racist, it's a group of racists and or not racist, whatever.
Transphobes? Well, Harry Potter itself isn't transphobic. It's J.K. Rowling is a fucking turf on Twitter.
Yeah, but she also she also has an issues with like the characters she wrote. Like, wasn't some of them sexist and shit like that? I
don't think so. People get mad at her because she later, after the whole book and everything is done, she'll say that other characters were gay.
No, yeah, that's what big people were mad about is stuff that happened like in the books with their characters.
Well, I mean, that's not what people are mad at her about, though.
Yeah.
Do you not know the shit she says about trans people on Twitter?
Well, I know about that, but people are also upset about some of the ways that she portrayed characters. I was reading about this.
When?
I don't know, like a few months ago. Yeah, there was like not just her herself; it was within the books too.
Huh.
Yeah. Okay. Finland doesn't exist either. This theory evolved on Reddit in 2015 when a user called Rarigans suggested that Finland was a fabricated landmass dreamed up by the Japanese and Soviet Union during the Cold War in an effort to secure fishing rights in the Baltic Sea.
This has to be a fucking
Rarigans
meme.
suggested the people who populate the country known as Finland actually belong to the nations of Sweden, Estonia, and Russia. All right. Oh my God, what the fuck is this one? Okay. Number 4.
Like
Number 4, an elite cohort of reptiles rule the earth, and Justin Bieber is among them.
That's what I was saying, dude. The reptile people. That QAnon lady believed in that shit.
So a public policy survey in 2016 found that nearly 12 million people believe that an entire class of space traveling with lizards rule the earth. Among these lizards is Justin Bieber, who was reported earlier this year shape-shifting mid-concert into a giant reptile with big scaly claws and a black stripe down the middle. What the fuck?
That did not happen during a fucking show.
God.
The chances that not somebody was filming, like not one person out of the entire audience is filming is so low.
That's kind of confusing. Okay. Queen Elizabeth is a cannibal.
What the fuck?
Ever wonder how the Queen of England has managed to live so long? British historian Hubert Humdinger has the answer. She must
His
eat...
name is Humdinger.
Humdinger. She must eat human flesh to be so vivacious? In 2012, the site... It's probably some fucking British thing. In 2012, the site Dear Dirty America claimed to have confirmed Humdinger's reports when a serviceman at Windsor Castle claimed to discover human remains inside the Queen's private freezer.
No fucking way. Did they like test the DNA and figure out that it was, or did he just see it?
It didn't say anything else. Okay.
Damn, that'd be crazy.
The ice bucket challenge was really a satanic ritual. Okay. When the ice bucket challenge began circulating the web in 2014, a number of suspicious theories came with it. Several critics took to YouTube hoping to reveal the true motivations behind the challenge, with many of them claiming the ALS benefit was a ritual purification, cleansing for what would be the biggest the largest human sacrifice in history, part of a hidden Illuminati code passed down by Satan himself.
How is dumping cold water on you satanic?
I don't know. Number 7, NASA knows about a second sun and is hiding it from us.
A second sun? What the fuck do you mean?
I don't know. When NASA reported the discovery of a Planet 9 in 2016, astronomer Paul Cox took to the internet to speculate that the planet was actually a second sun. In a live video posted to a robotic telescope service site called SLU, Cox examined Mercury's transits and pointed out a second sun. NASA and other organizations, they usually hide that stuff away from us. They don't tell the truth. But there it is.
I don't know why they'd hide that.
Oh.
Maybe just because it would fuck up with Christians.
Maybe.
I feel like Christians would be someone who'd be mad about that.
Second son. I don't know. Okay. Michelle Obama is a man, and he murdered Joan Rivers.
I've heard this one. This one's so stupid.
Oh, my God. Of course it was Alex Jones.
Exactly.
After Joan Rivers joked that Michelle Obama was a transgender woman, the Obamas had her assassinated. Joan Rivers is dead.
Who's Joan Rivers? Oh, she's dead?
I guess so.
What the fuck?
The earth is flat, really?
Oh my god, just don't even read this one.
I want to see what it says, though. After the solar eclipse in August, a number of flat earth conspiracists, or flat earthers, took to the internet to disprove the spherical shape of the planet. The theory is experiencing a modern-day resurgence with flat earther YouTube channels and subreddits like r flat earth flourishing with thousands of members online. I want to look at this Reddit real quick. I want to see what it'll be like.
Okay.
There are 60,000 members.
Why? Is it just memes mostly?
It looks like it.
I don't think I know a single person that actually genuinely believes in flat Earth.
Yeah, I think this is... Huh. Yeah, I think this is just people joking around. That's weird. It doesn't even... That's kind of disappointing. It doesn't even fucking... Okay, whatever. Israeli government has a pack of evil GPS-equipped sharks that they use against their enemies.
What the fuck?
What? After a series of shark attacks off the coast of Egypt in 2010, a South Sinai official blamed Israel's government. From there, theories spread online. Israel was accused of possessing a fleet of killer arrow, armed spy dolphins, and a pack of sharks equipped with GPS signals. They were sent to Egypt with an evil master plan. Oh, I like this one. The UN is plotting to kill us all.
Agreed.
For years, a UN-backed sustainable development plan called Agenda 21 has faced suspicious criticism. According to a large spectrum of the internet, Agenda 21 is really the oh my God, Illuminati's covert plan to kill off the majority of the Earth's population.
The Illuminati would just run the world?
I guess so.
Oh, is this the one that's Ted Cruz is the Zodiac Killer?
No, Robert Kardashian and Ted Cruz are the same person.
Wait, go back up.
So
No.
this conspiracy
way.
theory claims that Robert Kardashian isn't actually dead, but rather he's been trolling around in the Ted Cruz in order to sever ties with the Kardashian clan and enter into a career of politics. That's what I meant to say. Jesus Christ.
Damn, what the fuck? Wait, were Ted Cruz and Robert Kardashian the same height?
I don't know. Got a couple more.
Sweet.
COVID-19 was engineered.
I've heard that a lot, but I don't necessarily believe that.
There are so many COVID-19 related conspiracy theories that range from 5G for the pandemic, which is currently going strong, despite all the scientific evidence, to condemning everyone from Big Pharma to Bill Gates for the outbreak. There are also conspiracy theories that say COVID-19 doesn't even exist and is simply being covered by the media to scare and control the masses. We must have missed the memo regarding that last one. Here's the truth, plain and simple. These COVID conspiracies are patently false and make light of a serious problem. The coronavirus is real and deadly. You can take steps that require minimum effort to protect yourself. Okay. Anyway. CRN helped end the world. Yes, as in past tense. In the world ended in 2012 when CERN was discovered. The Higgs boson, aka the God particle, and accidentally created a black hole that sucked Earth into it, and we just haven't really noticed yet. There's a Twitter thread that dives deep into what might have happened. That would make a lot of sense, dude. In 2012, but as the video explains, it's not very likely that we've been sucked into an alternate black hole reality, since CERN doesn't have the ability to produce the amount of energy needed to create one. And that's not the only conspiracy theory surrounding the European Organization of Nuclear Research, which is what CERN stands for. A French acronym for Conseil European... I don't know. Okay. Another points that CERN is planning to use the Hadron Collider to open a portal to hell, or at the very least, the Collider is one of the 7 seals of the apocalypse, which are all unleash hell on Earth. All right.
I think I agree with that one. Can we be honest? Nothing has felt the same since 2012, bro. People like to say, "Oh, 2016 is where everything went to the like dark timeline," but no, it was 2012. I promise you. 2016 was just the peak. But like December 21st, 2021 or 2012,
Yeah.
the world ended. I full-heartedly believe that.
All right, I can fuck with it.
Remember how it was because they couldn't find like the Mayan calendar?
Yeah.
Imagine if the Mayan calendar was just like code word for the code name for the date. So we hit the last date in the video game simulation and then reset. That's why everything's been fucked up since then.
That'd be fucking insane, man. Okay. Frozen, the movie or cryogenics? What if we told you the Walt Disney Company created the movie Frozen to alter Google's search algorithm so that when people looked up some variation of Disney Frozen, information about the movie and not Walt Disney possibly being cryogenically frozen would come up. Screen Rant writes...
I've heard that. I feel like that's actually like a real thing because the movie was supposed to be called like Winter Princess or something like that.
Really?
Yeah, the idea for it popped up in like the 60s and it was supposed to be just like the Ice Princess.
Huh, so yeah.
So maybe that is true. They called it Frozen just so that
Disney Frozen.
Yeah.
Huh.
Wouldn't bring up that his brain was frozen.
Interesting. Okay.
Which, did you know he was like a Nazi?
I didn't know that.
Like,
no.
unironically, he was like a Nazi apologist and a racist and shit.
Fuck yeah.
Yeah, so I saw a video. It was actually a clip from Family Guy where they theorized what would happen if you brought Walt Disney back. And he gets out of the freezer and he's like, "Are the Jews gone yet?"
Oh my God.
And Brian is like, "No." And then he asked to be frozen again because he doesn't want to live in the world.
That's ridiculous, dude. Okay. Screen Rant writes the cigarettes used to be cropped out of Disney's hands in an attempt to keep up with the Mouse House family friendly branding. So
that's like confirmed.
Yeah. So while
That's not
creating
even
a
a
hit movie to mess with an
conspiracy
internet algorithm sounds nutty, it also kind of makes sense that if it was intentional, Disney's full of geniuses. Okay. Denver Airport is a hole for the Illuminati, or a hub for the Illuminati.
I have seen this one. My aunt actually wrote a book on this conspiracy
Your
theory.
aunt wrote a book on it?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
That's
The
interesting.
crazy one that moved to Uruguay or whatever.
Oh.
Or like Puerto Rico or something. Or like, where the fuck did they move to?
I don't know.
Guatemala? I don't know. They went somewhere cool.
Huh.
Ecuador. They moved to Ecuador.
Nice.
Yeah, but she wrote a book about the Denver Airport conspiracy theory.
Hell yeah.
It's supposed to be like the bomb shelter for the Illuminati when the world ends.
Weird.
Yeah.
Okay. So, and the New World Order also acts as a gateway to hell. Who knew? Conspiracy theories post that the Denver International Airport is a hub for the lizard people who run the government in much of the world. Some believe DIA is the home base of Illuminati, while others believe it's actually a portal to hell, with Lucifer, the giant blue horse, which killed the artist who made it, guarding the gateway. There are weird murals on the wall depicting Nazi imagery and a commemoration capstone plaque that mentions the New World Airport Commission, an organization that does not exist. Between that, the gargoyles in the Jepson terminal and the interactive gargoyle that welcomes travelers to the Illuminati headquarters before correcting himself and welcoming the masses to Denver International Airport. DIA is either poking fun at all this conspiracy surrounding the facility or they're hiding it in plain sight.
Why the fuck is it like an amusement park theme? That's so weird. You walk in, there's like interactive gargoyles.
And they actually like welcome you to
That's
the
kind of
Illuminati
fucking weird, bro.
headquarters? That's fucking creepy, man.
It literally says "Welcome to the Illuminati headquarters." I mean, the Denver Airport.
All right. The Hollow Earth conspiracy.
I haven't heard this about Earth, but I have heard it about the moon.
Yeah, because the pyramid ship's in the moon, bro.
Yeah.
Savage
No, but
dude.
they shot something at the moon to like, I can't remember exactly what they were doing, but they were like feeling the vibrations of the moon, and it vibrated as if it was like empty and echoing on the inside.
Really?
Yeah.
That'd be odd. Okay, so for the Earth one, the theory is rooted back in the 17th... Oh, wait. Okay, so the conspiracy says that the Earth is hollow, and there might even be a whole other civilization of advanced beings living in it. The theory is rooted back in the 17th century when Edmund Halley, who has a comet named after him, proposed that the Earth must be hollow because of changing magnetism. In 2014, scientists found a reservoir of water 3 times the volume of all oceans deep within Earth. The water, however, isn't just sloshing around within Earth. It's inside ringwoodite, a rock that's 435 miles deep inside or beneath Earth's surface. For some, this bolstered the theory that Earth was hollow since the water was formed in rock form, was solidified in rock form. So how do you access the secret world within a world? Via secret entrance at the North or South Pole, of course. Apparently, if Bigfoot doesn't exist... Oh, is this... Oh, okay. So, yeah, secret entrance... Hollow Earth.
That's pretty fucking wild.
All right. Bigfoot does exist. This is a conspiracy. Apparently, if Bigfoot does exist, the creature probably resides in Washington State. There have been 2,032 sightings as of May, and there's even a list of the top 8 states where you might catch a glimpse of him. Then again, you might catch the fabled beast in Oregon, Pennsylvania, Texas, since those states also have a high volume of reported sightings. Plus, Bigfoot has his own FBI file, so there's a good chance that something, or as is the news clip show here, several somethings out there. Okay, next one. We're living in the Matrix.
I agree.
Yeah.
Yep.
Some conspiracies believe that we live in a giant simulation like in the Matrix. There's also a subreddit dedicated to glitches in the Matrix where people share... Ooh, what is that subreddit?
Dude, I love this thing where there's like floating birds or planes or things that are like a tree that's like cut perfectly in half.
All right, well...
Find some. This is dope.
Okay, weird JCPenney glitch. This happened at the Woodlands Hills Mall, Tulsa, November 23rd, 2022, around 6 p.m. or so. My husband and I, completely sober per usual, took our 2 kids, baby, and school-aged child to JCPenney's in the mall. Due to COVID, if there were 2 or more entrances to the store, they block off all but one. This Penny's has a top-level and bottom-level entrance from the mall, floor 1 and floor 2. And we have been going since we were kids and none of the areas have changed. We were on the top floor when we went in. PacSun was on the outside of the store as usual. The display was white soft sweaters on the left and softer tones, and I touched one and commented on it. We walked around the left side of the store to the back to find the single tiny elevator that can only fit one family. We got in, hit the button for floor 1. There were only 2 buttons, floor 1 and floor 2. There were no buttons, so there are numbers of floors. We got out on floor 1, where the shoes are to our left, and decided to find another store as none of the snow boots fit our oldest. We walked the few feet back to the elevator. There was literally only a few feet from the shoe area, so we could see it the entire time, and got in to hit button 2 to head back up so we could exit, as floor 1 had its entrance closed with the gated wall thing. The elevator moved. It opened to a totally different part of the store from where we entered originally. It was home decor and none of the clothes racks that had been there upon first entrance on floor 2. We felt uneasy as everyone in the store was silent and still just staring at us the whole time. Then we were even more freaked out to find out where our exit should have been. There was a gated wall closed off. We walked back to the same little elevator. We got on and hit floor 1 again, and it opened to where we have been with the shoes on the left, but this time it was like a weird combination of the original floor 2 and floor 1 is hallway. Though we saw the displays and layout we had seen upon entrance on floor 2, that they were always there, but the same sweaters on the left were green and red, and the sign was of different colors and design. The entrance was completely open as if it had switched, and we still felt complete dread and utter silence and stares. We exited past Starbucks on the first level, totally confused. My husband said he felt like something shifted. As we walked away from the store, people stopped staring, the mall was loud again, and then we took the mall's middle elevator outside of Penny's to get back to level 2 of the mall itself to head to the stores on the floor. I felt completely terrified to see the gate to Penny's was open on level 2. The display was the original white sweaters, and looking downstairs, the gate closed that we had just exited out of. We got our kids' snow boots from the children's place and left while looking at Penny's in shock. The second our kids fell asleep in the car, we spoke about it. I told him, "You saw that too, right?" And he explained to me exactly the same as I saw it. We both experienced it and felt complete dread the entire time. Since then, we noticed so many other odd glitches of entering these voids where people stop and stare in silence. Little things have changed, like the names in stores around town. Penny's is not a good example. This might just be my husband and I remembering it this way as kids. Relatives just seemed off or different. People have been strangely aggressive to us anytime we go out We're a small, quiet family who bothers no one. Birds and little things keep glitching, and we notice it more and more. My husband has jokingly stated that we are in the wrong world, but I don't want to think about it. I'm tempted to take them back to the elevator and try again and maybe fix it. Edit. I've been questioning if there's a floor in the store itself that we never go to, and somehow the old elevator took us there. The elevator does get stuck a lot. It's so odd. I'm not even sure they can even do that. It only has buttons 1 and 2, though. I'm not even sure they can do that. The mall only has 2 levels you can enter in the stores, though. I've also questioned whether a worker opened and closed the wrong entrances, as it was nearing closing time, but it happened so quickly I'm unsure how they sprinted between floors. Well, seems like you have shifted realities. Welcome to your reality. Everyone is an asshole and everything sucks. I would try to get back to the elevator and get out ASAP. So, I called my dad in his past about more than 30 years ago. I recently posted about me disappearing into thin air while I was sleeping and my family couldn't find me. And when I woke, they swore up and down they have searched all over for me but weren't able to find me. This is not an update, but something that has just happened yesterday. 3 days ago, I was having a conversation with my father, and he was telling me about his university life. Basically, my dad came from nothing. He had a very difficult upbringing and went to the worst school in high school in our city. When it was time for him to join university, my grandfather passed away, leaving my dad to take care of the rest of the family as he was the oldest son. He took a wrong major because of the wrong advices of the people and how he regrets that to his day. The courses were taught in English, which is second language for us, and how he didn't even know the language. My dad told me that it was the darkest times in his life and he just wanted to run away, even think about taking his own life. Now, very recently, he got his master's in English literature, and he was telling me that he didn't think it was ever be possible for him. My dad just recently finished his degree at an age of 55. The next morning, my dad had to drive to his town because of distant relatives lived there, and they are struggling financially. My dad is a very kind soul and wanted to help them. The town is 3 hours drive away. He usually takes public transport, but didn't because of recent crisis. He drove there, and my mom was worried, so we decided he would keep calling him after every hour to check. Well, I decided to call him. Now, keep in mind, because its highway network signals get very weak. He told me to wait and parked at a nearby restaurant. It was like a checkpoint for trucks. I didn't know what came over me, but I started crying and went on to tell him how proud of him I was. I just babbled and kept saying that he shouldn't think he's lacking because he's not. He's an amazing father and a great person that I look up to. You guys, my dad starts crying and he told me that he will talk to me when he returns. Well, he returned and he just hugged me and was telling me that 30 years ago he was visiting the same town, and it was the time when he was at his lowest. He was visiting the same relatives, and he was in a bus which stopped at a patrol station. He called his mother, and when he picked the phone without even dialing, he heard my voice. It was me telling him the exact same thing that I just said yesterday. He said that he didn't even call my grandmother. He just stood there and cried. It gave him strength to keep fighting. He said he just now realized it was me whose voice he heard. My God, my parents are now taking this as a sign from God who helped my dad when he thought no one was there for him. All right, last conspiracy theory. You ready? You sure you're ready? You ready? Okay.
Yeah.
I think I died 30 years ago. I don't know if this is the right place for this. If anyone has a better recommendation, I'd be grateful. I just need to get it out there, so feel free to direct me. I'm almost 43 years old, a female, a mother. I started a family 20 years ago, and life, however challenged at times, has been largely rewarding in all ways that matter most. I can't complain, nor would I choose anything else for myself. Over the last decade, particularly on the internet, I've stumbled across innumerable mentions of the interdimensional jumps, time shifts, whatever. The popular terms are, and to be honest, I always thought it was all rather silly. Intriguing, but far-fetched. My literal linear thinking just wouldn't make room for the idea. Let me back up for a moment. My curiosity was always piqued by the subject, however, since discovering the Mandela effect, which led me to Reddit some time ago, because I, too, have very specific deep-seated memories from adolescence that do not align what we think of reality today. Still, I didn't think it meant anything except perhaps my mind was not the steel trap I believed it to be all this time. 2 days ago, a conversation with my mother reminded us of something strange, at least on the surface level, but on a deeper level, it felt wrong, like really wrong. When I was 12, my mother remarried and the two of us moved across the country to live with her new husband. It was incredibly disruptive and traumatizing for me. I had gone from life in one of the largest cities in the country to a town of less than 10,000. My classmates thought I was odd, the way I dressed, the way I talked, the music I listened to. It was all too alien for the kids in my school, and I was instantly declared a misfit. The hardest part wasn't just starting over amongst people who actively disliked me. It was leaving people I deeply loved. My father, my childhood twins, my very closest girlfriend, who was like a twin flame at the time. We were practically sisters and did nothing without each other. I was heartbroken. One night after another fight with my father and her mother and her husband, I decided I couldn't do it anymore. Even though it was not a concept that was ever discussed in my household, at the young age, I knew I could end my own life quite easily. Mother's husband had been in an accident that received quite a bit of news coverage, so I won't divulge further details except to say he sustained second and third degree burns on 50% of his body and spent 6 months in the hospital receiving skin grafts. The nerve pain persisted for a very long time after his release, and he was prescribed narcotic medications to manage his discomfort. That night, knowing where he kept his prescriptions, I went into the bathroom and took an entire bottle of Percocet, followed by half a bottle of Dermanol.
At 13? Jesus.
I counted them all beforehand and even had the conscious thought that I should leave half the bottle of Demerol for him, just in case. He didn't really take anything stronger than Advil at the time, but he kept 2 full bottles of painkillers on hand in event of emergencies. Since we were an hour away from the closest hospital, he was very conscious of medical emergencies and the distance to the nearest treatment facility since his terrible ordeal. I didn't want to leave them completely empty-handed. I was small, even for a 12-year-old girl, and I knew I had taken more enough to get the job done. I crawled in my bed. I remember waking up sometime later with a heavy weight on my chest, making it difficult to breathe, and red lights flashing in my room. Oh my God, this is it. I shouldn't have done that. I wish I hadn't done that. It was horrifying, but I didn't have the strength to react. I closed my eyes and drifted back into darkness. The next morning, I woke up amazed by the fact that I was waking up and quite scared that it still hadn't happened, that I was alive and I was simply waiting to die. I got on the bus to go to school, feeling incredibly sick at this point. It had been about 10 hours since ingesting all the pills, and I fell asleep in the back, fully expecting to die before reaching school. At the school, it was impossible to stay awake in class. I couldn't keep my eyes open and slept with my head on the desk in every period until one of my teachers grew concerned and sent me to the nurse's office. Once I got into the office, I puked and passed out on the little vinyl cot. When I woke up, my mother was there. The nurse had called her to take me home. She looked angry. When we got to the house, I desperately just wanted to sleep, still believing I was at death's door, but my mother has other ideas. She disappeared into the bathroom and returned with a pregnancy test. I started laughing and crying at this point. Swearing pregnancy wasn't a possibility since I still hadn't so much as kissed a boy. After going back and forth, I just told her the truth. Despite the fact that I was terrified of the consequences of my admission, nothing was preferable to the ideas she was projecting onto me. Of course, after hearing my confession, my mother started screaming for my stepfather to go check his medication, after which he returned to the living room and started grilling me for the rest. Where are they? Did you sell them to your friends? Give me the rest of them. I don't have any friends to sell anything. I took them all. I ate them. He said, that's impossible. You would be dead. I thought so too, I agreed. So then it was off to the hospital, driving the 40-mile stretch as fast as we could in absolute silence. It had been perhaps 16 hours at this point, and by now, except for extreme fatigue, I felt fine. No nausea, emotionally numb, just tired. At the hospital, my blood was drawn, and the doctors confirmed that the levels of painkillers in my system supported my version of events from the previous night. The doctor said they could pump my stomach per my mother's request, but it would be pointless as the pills were thoroughly digested by now, and my body had amazingly metabolized them all without serious reaction yet. He was astonished, insisting that at the very least I should have been comatose, if not violently ill. Something. I stayed in the hospital under observation, in addition to the heap of state and legal ramifications I had just brought down on all of us. Social workers, psychiatrists, all to decide that I was simply a very depressed, traumatized, and poorly adjusted girl who really didn't like her life. Who really didn't like her new life. The rest is history. But remembering the event and conversation, it touched a deep nerve, and I very suddenly got this tremendous anxiety, terror almost, like I had come too close to uncovering a secret, long hidden from my conscious mind. I had this nearly palpable dread that I examined the circumstances any further. I remember something that my brain could not handle. The floodgates would open. The other thing that really bothered me when the subject came up, my mother had a pattern. Whenever there was a fight, my mother would wake me up in the middle of the night before she went to bed herself to make amends and say, I love you. It had been like clockwork going back to my earliest memories. The same every time. She couldn't fall asleep without repeating these steps. But that night, for the first and only time that I can recall, she did not. I always believed that my stepfather had something to do with it, and she can't remember why she didn't perform the same ritual that night as well, but I think she did. I think she did go into the room that night. I think the red flashing lights, which I still vividly remember like it was yesterday, were the flashing lights of an ambulance outside my bedroom window. And I have the awful sick suspicion that I did die that night. These last couple of days since revisiting that chapter of my life, I found myself profoundly disturbed and disoriented. Something just feels so wrong. I've had a number of unusual and inexplicable events occur in my lifetime, but nothing like this. It was literally as though I escaped nearly all the physical consequences of a deadly serious choice. In all these years, I never gave it a great deal, or I thought beyond that was weird, or gosh, I was lucky. But now, looking closely at it and all the pieces, I believe something much bigger than anything. I can understand what was at work. I should have died. I have known people who have died from a similar combination of drugs in even smaller quantities at a later age, when their bodies are stronger and more developed. And every time my mind starts to dwell on the days that surrounded that event, when I start to peel away the memories leading up to that night and those flashing lights, I feel like I might start hyperventilating, like I could have a panic attack, which I've only experienced one time in my life on spot. I never believed I'd make a post of this nature. I never believed I'd post this story. It has been long, that just a distant, regrettable memory that I believed I had healed from completely, but I can't shake the deep, gnawing feeling that something far worse happened that night. And does anyone have any suggestions, ideas, anything relatable?
Damn, so this bitch just fucking respawned into our reality? That's dope. Sucks for her, but that's dope.
I feel like that's less of like her coming into a reality and like something like she was given a second chance.
Second chance by who?
I don't know.
That's not how time works. That's not how shit works.
But a version of her did die, but like I don't. It must have just been a multiple other reality.
Yeah.
Crazy.
That is crazy.
Absolutely mind blowing. Mm-hmm. That felt like forever. All right. It is time for drum roll, please. Drum roll, please. Another tier list. Woo!
Fuck yeah. I love these things. These are so fun. Which one did you pick for us today?
It is time for cereal snack tier list. You can edit some like. All right. Let's start with an unknown challenger. We have apple cinnamon Cheerios.
Dude, those things are actually so good.
I have never tried them.
I'm not gonna give them S or A tier because I think Apple Jacks do it better.
So C?
So C.
Okay.
Or B. Have you had them? Or not C. I'd put them in B.
I haven't had them.
Put them in B.
C.
No, put them in B.
C.
B.
C.
Put them in B.
I put them in C. Okay. Cookie Crisp. This is S in my opinion.
Oh, yeah.
These are
S tier. That's the one with the
straight-
wolf, right?
Yep, straight.
Dude,
straight
I
fire.
always begged my parents for that every single time I'd go to the grocery store, and they hardly ever got it for me. But when they did, it was so fucking good.
All right. Special K. D.
Special K actually isn't bad. People give it a lot of hate, but I think it's really good. It's
All right. I
healthier
can compromise
alternative.
with C.
I'd put him in B, but C is fine.
Okay. Kicks. This is S in my opinion.
S tier, dude.
These things are so fucking good.
Yeah,
Apple Jacks. I don't love Apple Jacks.
I do. For what they are,
You said they were better than Cheerios?
they're better than
Then I can
Cheerios.
go into A.
Okay.
Corn Flakes. These are D in my opinion. Just regular old corn flakes. These are nasty.
I know that this is not the popular opinion, but I really like plain cornflakes.
That's nasty. They go
Plain
with special.
corn
They are the
flakes,
same as
corn-
Special K.
I just love plain corn cereal. It actually is, unironically, good.
All right.
But you can put them in D.
I put them in C. Have you ever had Count Chocula?
S tier.
I've never had it before.
S tier, dude. It's like the Halloween seasonal stuff.
But like of what flavor?
It's chocolate.
I put them in A.
A is fan.
Because I never had them, so I'll just go. Captain Crunch. This is S in my opinion.
Captain Crunch always like tears up the inside
But
of my
it's
mouth.
so good for just the little bit that it has. This is just the version just with the without the berries.
I put them in C or D.
S. Fine, these can go in B, I guess. Oh, that's not supposed to
Oh,
be.
you guess?
Yeah. That works, I suppose. Rice Chex. This is A in my opinion.
Rice Chex is A.
Rice Chex is pretty good.
I like Rice Chex. And with a little bit of sugar on top.
Peanut Butter Crunch. I mean, I can put these in B.
I
can
do
put
not
those in
like
B.
peanut butter crunch.
Rice Krispies. These are meh. Just regular
Rice
Rice
Krispies.
Krispies. They're pretty plain.
Yeah, Rice Krispie treats are gas though.
I'll put these in C.
Put them in C. That's
Cinnamon
fine.
Toast Crunch is A for me.
S or A.
I'll go A. Great, but not always in the mood for this. Sometimes, like some mornings, I'm like Cinnamon Toast Crunch. Really? This morning? Right now?
When I was younger than like 15, it was S tier every single time.
If there was a rating, S plus, Honey Bunches votes.
Oh my god,
so fucking
that's
good.
so much better than just plain cereal. Like that's an experience.
Oh, I love those motherfuckers. Okay, Frosted Mini Wheats. These are like A in my opinion.
Yeah, I put
I think
them
these
in
are
A
pretty
tier.
damn good.
They're pretty good.
Not quite S, but regular Honey Nut Cheerios. I think these are A or S.
Those are S.
Okay.
No, those are straight S tiers. So
Reese's
fucking
Puffs.
good.
I've never really been.
I don't
loved
really like
these.
them. Like D.
D. Same with the rest of the peanut butter cereal.
Yeah.
Have you ever had Rice Krispie Treats cereal?
Rice Krispie treat
Yeah, they're
cereal.
like mini Rice Krispie Treats, and they're in the cereal form.
I feel like that would be garbage.
All right, we'll go see. I think these are the healthy Cheerios. These are still all right.
The healthy Cheerios? You just
I-
mean plain Cheerios?
Yeah.
I liked plain Cheerios.
I think I'll put them in A. Actually, I'll go B. Lucky Charms. I think these are S.
Mm-hmm.
Lucky Charms
S
are pretty
tier.
damn good. Okay, Cocoa Krispies. These are pretty fucking good.
They're okay. I'd put them in B. They're not really my
Okay,
favorite.
I thought it meant chocolate pebbles, and I was about to go crazy. Fruit Loops. This is like a B to me. I think Fruit Loops are pretty all right.
It's like C.
Okay.
I don't really like it that much. It's kind of plain.
Raisin Bran. I hate Raisin Bran.
I actually love Raisin Bran.
Raisin Bran is so bad.
I would S tier Raisin Bran.
There's no fucking way you would ask.
No, I'm not even kidding.
That is awful.
I love Raisin Bran.
Will compromise and put that in B.
That's a hell of a compromise.
Oh my god. Fruity Pebbles. I think Fruity Pebbles are A.
Fruity Pebbles are A.
Pretty good. Cocoa Puffs. These
Cocoa
are pretty
Puffs
damn good.
are also A.
Okay, Frosted Flakes. This is an S tier cereal in my opinion, dude. They're
Frosted
so
Flakes
fucking
are
good.
definitely S tier. Dude,
Okay,
that was like my grandpa's favorite cereal. And whenever I'd go spend the night at his house, we'd wake up and make toast and Frosted Flakes in the morning together.
So good. Okay,
Fire.
Captain Crunch berries. These I feel like are a little better than just the regular Captain Crunch in my opinion.
Yeah.
So they're
One
A.
higher than whatever they're at.
So they were in B. So that makes this A. What is this? 2 scoops Raisin Bran. Where's below? Where's trash
S tier.
can? Oh my
S
god!
tier.
No.
S tier.
That is going right next to the other Raisin Bran. Honeycomb cereal. This is S in my opinion.
Yep.
This shit is
That's
fire.
definitely S tier.
Okay. Tricks. Not a big fan of Tricks. Don't really care.
D.
Good rating. Okay. Pops. Kellogg's Pops. These are
S
so
tier.
fucking good.
Those are fucking S tier. Right up there with Kix.
And then chocolate pebbles. So the chocolate version of Fruity Pebbles. These are
S tier.
And then have you ever had Honey Smacks or Golden Crisp?
Oh, dude. Yes. Those are also, I would S tier those too.
Both of those?
They're like Golden Crisps? I think I'm thinking of Golden Grams.
Yeah, these are
I don't
something
think I've
different.
had those.
And I'm just not going to rank these. I've never had them. Okay. Well, that was quick. We can probably do another one, but
Yeah.
S tier, Cookie Crisps, Kix, Honey Bunches of Oats, Lucky Charms, Honey Nut Cheerios, Frosted Flakes, Honeycomb, Pops, and Cocoa.
Yep.
I think the only one that I might switch is maybe put Honey Nut Cheerios in A.
I would still
Kix in
keep
A.
it.
I would probably put Kix in A, but that's pretty solid. Give me a topic. Something simple.
Star Wars movies.
Okay.
This is actually going to be fun because I feel like we both know enough to actually like discuss.
Okay. First one up. I don't know why it's not in order, but we're just going to go that way. Attack of the Clones. Attack of the Clones
Is that episode
the
2?
worst of the worst, yes.
F tier. Can you go? Is there a
This
below
is
F
S
tier?
through D.
S through D? Okay, then definitely
Attack
D.
of the Clones sucks, and if you like Attack of the Clones, you suck.
The only good part in Attack of the Clones was how hot Natalie Portman was, and then that one wedding scene. Everything else from that movie is trash.
Literally awful.
Like this, dude. The music from the wedding scene, though,
So good.
beautiful, bro. I actually tried learning how to play that on a guitar. It's actually kind of hard, but it's so pretty.
Okay, Empire Strikes Back. I think this is the best Star Wars movie that they ever made.
Is that episode 5?
That's episode 5. In my opinion,
because
Empire Strikes Back
it was
is the best
everything
Star
you
Wars
wanted
movie.
from episode 4, but it was better. Then you have the fucking twist at the end, where it's like, "I am your father." right?
Yeah.
That was episode 5.
And
Which
Han got put on.
absolutely
Frozen
iconic
Carbonite.
movie moment.
Empire Strikes Back. It does not get better than Empire
And
Strikes
like the
Back.
opening scene too, where Luke gets captured by the snow gorilla
Yeah.
and held upside down, and he is finally able to use the Force and grab the lightsaber.
Yep.
That's so fucking cool.
All right. The Force Awakens. This is S in my opinion. This is my
I feel like
favorite.
that's
This
S.
is my second favorite.
That's
Star Wars
episode 7,
movie.
right?
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
the first one with Rey and all of them. This was such a good start to the trilogy, and then it went downhill so fucking quick.
It
so fucking quick.
It did indeed set up for a very good trilogy. It
and
just,
it just
didn't
didn't happen.
didn't work. But I agree.
Last
I also
Jedi.
think that that's S tier.
I know that this is one of the most hated Star Wars movies.
No, I actually really like
but
that
I
one.
am a pretty decent fan. But I feel like just so we don't get hate, B.
I don't know. That's honestly my favorite Star Wars movie from the new trilogy.
I mean, I like it enough that I'll put it in A.
Okay.
But it's just
I honestly would S tier
a lot
it,
of
but
a lot
it
of
is
stuff that
good.
really fucked it up. Like the Leia stuff was stupid, and whatever that character Rose or whatever, she sucked, and the ending sucked, and Luke kind of sucked, but I did kind of like it. So
I like that it was different than what you would expect.
yeah,
Like it wasn't Luke being portrayed as a good guy. It was kind of him being portrayed like a dick.
right. So
And
I
I
probably
really like that
that's like A,
aspect.
B, A.
And then the scene where they're on like the red planet, they're coming at each other. See how
Yeah.
like the red dust under the white dust, and
Yep.
I don't know. I like that movie a lot. I think A tier is fair.
Yeah. Okay, A New Hope. I mean, this is just S tier.
A New Hope, is that episode 4?
4.
Yeah,
This
obviously.
is just like the classic Star Wars. Nothing really wrong with it. Nothing super special about it, but just a really, really great movie.
I would A tier it because there's nothing
That
special
we
about
can't
it.
put that. What do you mean? There's nothing special about it.
Well,
There's so much special with it. That
No,
was
no.
that can't.
that's
not
no. You're
Last
right.
Jedi.
You're right. S tier it. S tier it.
Phantom Menace. This is like
That's like
B.
C tier.
I put this B. I'd go a little higher than C. It is the best of the. No, it's not. No, it's not. C. It can go in C. Return of the Jedi. This is like B, I guess.
Yeah, it's
Return of the
not
Jedi
that
isn't
good.
great.
B or C even. But B is fine.
Yeah. Rogue One. This is S in my opinion.
Rogue
I
One.
really fucking love Rogue One.
That's the one right before episode 4 starts, right?
Yeah, the story.
That
like,
one was
the-
really good.
Yeah, I love Rogue One. Yeah, that's S tier.
It's also the best standalone movie out of all of them.
Yep. Actually, I'm gonna put that in A, just to kind of
Okay.
keep things. Because I feel like there shouldn't be a shit ton of S tier. Because there should be the best of the best, and that's really fucking solid.
Yeah.
Episode 3. Pretty sure this is
S tier.
Yep.
Oh yeah.
Solo. I'll put that with B with Return of the Jedi. Solo was all right.
Solo wasn't great, but it
but
was okay.
It was better than Episode 1 and
Yup.
Episode 2. Last Jedi. Or not Last Jedi. Force Awakens.
You already did Force Awakens.
No, I didn't. Or no, not Force Awakens. Rise of Skywalker. God.
Jeez.
I have a hard time rating this one.
Yeah, because it's like it was good watching it, like going into the movie theater and watching it, but then reading about everything that it could have been and should have been and how it should have ended, it just had so much more potential. And then making Rey a fucking Skywalker.
Yeah.
Did you see that TikTok of Daisy Ridley like making fun of that?
That's pretty funny.
She was
though.
in character of Rey, and she said she's like, I'm Rey Skywalker. Or well, actually, I don't go by Skywalker, just Rey. Except technically, I'm a Palpatine. But I was mentored by Skywalkers, so Rey Skywalker.
That's stupid.
She was just making fun of that. I feel
Okay.
like if she would have picked up a name at all, I feel like it should have been Palpatine.
I think I need to keep this in C. Pretty much the same as Episode 1. Because I would definitely rather watch Return of the Jedi or Solo over that movie.
I think I agree. The visuals were cool. The fight scene was cool. The thing with Kylo Ren and his dad was cool, but
Yeah.
yeah, just the way that it ended and the way it could have gone definitely makes it lower on the list for me.
All right. Well, that's all of them. If they had stuff like Clone Wars and shit in here, which I wonder if they do, probably not. If they had Clone Wars and everything like that, I mean, Clone Wars is S tier, obviously. But yeah, Rebels is fucking C tier.
Wasn't Jacob telling you they needed to watch Rebels?
Yeah, I probably will eventually. But all right, S tier: Empire Strikes Back, Force Awakens, Episode 3, and Episode 4. Pretty solid list in my opinion.
Yeah.
You could probably drop Force Awakens down to A if you wanted to, but I could also put Rogue One in S. So A, Last Jedi, and Rogue One. That's probably gonna not be a popular opinion, but Return of the Jedi and Solo in B, Episode 1 and Episode 7 in C, and Episode Dog Shit, Attack of the Clones, all the way at the bottom.
I love that that's the only one that's in trash can.
That one sucks, and there probably could be more in that, but that movie just blows. Absolutely blows.
It's just too fucking long. It's too much fucking nothing. It's
right. Anyway, I mean, I'm done if you are.
I could be done.
All right, let's wrap it up then.
That was a pretty solid episode. Hopefully this week we're gonna have no technical difficulties, just like last week.
Yes.
So that'll be cool.
Yes. No technical difficulties is always good, but anyways,
I wish there would have been more that happened this week.
yeah, kind of a weird episode. Nothing
Yeah.
crazy, just us talking about stuff, which is every week. I
It was
guess.
cool, dude. The Reddit shit was cool.
Yeah, conspiracy theories. If we made you rethink your life or anything, or mad about,
We need to do another episode where we go deeper,
yeah,
just like super
about
deep
Star Wars
conspiracy
that you guys
theory
don't
stuff.
like. About our rating on movies, fuck off. That was the ultimate tier list. Anyways, thanks for tuning in to this week's episode.
Yeah.
We will see you next week. New guest coming soon.
Yep.
Anyways,
Excited about that one.
adios, señorita.